Zandala, Jesus.
Make me pray.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, fellow Ambazonians. Happy 2021. Actually, I know many people have been writing me. They've been asking Mr. Nanchop, what is happening to you? Where have you been? Somebody wrote me and said, me, no, be you don't go to your own Pepe for La Republico. That's impossible. Well, by the way, I just want to use this opportunity to say Happy New Year to all of you. I know just few people had the opportunity to call me, or the time to call me, let me say so, and to at least check on me, but I've been fine. I'm very fine. And you know, we are marching from victory to victory. We are moving from glory to glory. And I have oftentimes said that there are some battles in this life that you must not win them with might. What you need is wisdom and strategy. And what I'll be talking about today, and the things I'll be presenting to us today, they are so necessary that I really want every Ambazonian to get this message. I want everyone watching me, everyone that will watch me later, to share this message extensively. I want every Ambazonian to get this message because it's very important. We are facing a war that we must win, because it's about our existence, it's about our life, it's about our whole being. Is, you know, it's God has given us this life as a gift, but there are the evil people in the world that want to rob us from our joy and from the things that belongs to us in this world. He that fights has a chance to win, but he that has given up has already lost. Good evening to every one of you that has joined me on this special live broadcast. Now Mr. Nanchop the talk. And of course, I want to send special greetings to everyone watching me from Ground Zero. Papa and Mamidem, I'm extending unto you patriotic and revolutionary love and greetings from this part of the world. Also, I want to send greetings to our brothers and sisters in the dungeons of La République du Cameroon. All our brothers and sisters in the prisons, in the bushes, those of you in the refugee camps, those of you internally and externally displaced, I am bringing to you today a message of hope and victory. Every Ambazonian must get this message today. And I also still want to re-emphasize and say I'm extending special greetings to all our brothers and sisters in the prisons, in La République, in wherever you might be. I want you to understand that we are fighting together. There is no retreat and no surrender. We are fighting together. We feel your pains. We stand with you. We will not give up, because we know that our giving up means the end of your life. Because we know that our giving up means the end of you. Forget about the little few, or the few that think they are opportune. They want to go and negotiate their way with the enemy so as to sell you. You know, think of it. We have thousands, if not tens of thousands of Ambazonians in the dungeons of La République du Cameroun. Their prisons are overfilled and overwhelmed. Nobody is talking about the tens of thousands of Ambazonians in the prisons, in the cells. Well, let me correct myself. Almost nobody, if I should say so. Let me not say nobody, because I believe there are a lot of Ambazonians who are doing a great job. I want to use this opportunity to say a special thank you to the DHSS team. That's the team, the Department of Health and Social Services, headed by Dr. Tita. You guys are doing a great job. Now, what many Ambazonians don't understand is that these guys are not sleeping day and night just to take care of our people back home. You know, some are sick, some are in the refugee camps, some they need medical attentions, some need advices, some, I mean, people with all kinds of troubles. We have brothers and sisters in the prisons. You know, do you really think La République will feed our people? Do you think La République can feed them? No. La République is not even able to feed their own people. Talk less of our brothers and sisters in their prisons. The Department of Health and Social Services of this interim government is taking care of those thousands of people. Nobody told you that. Perhaps, look, and this is the sad thing. There are a lot of things I'll be talking about today that I really want some of you to get down these notes. These are some of the sad things that are happening in this liberation fight, because we have turned to lost the focus somehow. We want to make everything on social media, and the things that are not on social media, they seem to be as though they are not existing. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. This war is not a war on social media. It's not a war that you can win the war on social media, but you don't win the war on the ground. So what advantage is that to you? If we should win the war on social media and don't win the war on the ground, to what advantage is that to us as Ambazonians? When was the last time you saw La République du Cameroun come up on social media to expose their strategies or to tell us aforetime what they are planning to do? They don't. La République goes out there and takes us sometimes by surprise, and by the time we get up in the morning, we are seeing images of our brothers and sisters being killed. And what do? We are the ones, the very ones, publishing those images on social media. It's good to gain international attention of the atrocities of La République du Cameroun. Yes. But again, this liberation war is not going to end on the social media. Let's gain from, or let's learn from experience. For so long we've been lamenting and crying on social media. Did you ever see La République du Cameroun or the international community do something? What they do is they play their normal lip service, I call. They will come and extend some pitiable messages like we condemn blah 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 blah, as though they don't know the perpetrators of those acts. And it's sad from our part, because I just feel like we've become used to that what I call pity party, social media pity party. We just want to, we are hoping, let me not say we, some Ambazonians are hoping, peradventure, some good people somewhere will just come and help us. Some are even saying, La République, give us our freedom. Do you really think La République du Cameroun, that does not understand the meaning of the word freedom, can give you freedom? Fellow Ambazonians, you cannot give that which you don't have. I repeat, you cannot give that which you don't have. So don't tell me La République is going to give us our freedom. La République is not free. They don't have freedom. They cannot give us Ambazonians freedom. Well, I'm just warming up to make sure I build up the audience before I start with my presentation of today, though. But let these things be clear to us. It's time for us to wake up onto some realities. I have the feeling many Ambazonians are still sleeping and dreaming. You know, somebody was talking to me the other day and said, anyhow, if you say what na two-state federation, I said before, if you dare, it's an impossible thought. And I'm going to tell you why in the course of this presentation, in the course of this show today. But as you join, click on the share button. Now, I was saying that we seem to have fallen for the trap of pity party, right? Ambazonians, we seem to want to express our pain so much only on social media, talk about them, propagate them, and end there. and hope that some good people somewhere will save us or help us? No. Or hope that France will one day tell La République du Cameroon, okay, enough is enough. You've killed a lot of Amazonians. It's time for you to let them go free. No. 1,000 times no. It doesn't work that way. It has never worked that way, and it shall not work that way. We are going to make sure, and it is our collective responsibility as Amazonians to make sure we stop the perpetrators, to make sure we crush down the enemy in our territory. This will not be possible without us reflecting and re-strategizing. You know, every new year gives us an opportunity to reflect over the past year, past strategies, past acts, over the things we've been doing in the past. And it's very necessary sometimes to sit, reflect, think of the achievements you've made, appreciate them, but also look at the things you can improve. Try to work and develop them. Work on them. Fellow Amazonians, I'm bringing you a message of hope and victory. If there's anybody that has told you that the Ambazonian liberation movement or fight is dying down, that person has been deceiving you. As a matter of fact, we are just changing the gears. Yes, I know many people, and most especially those who expected this fight to just be a 1 month thing or a 2 years thing, they are becoming weary. No, let not your heart be troubled. Don't be weak. Don't be weakened. Don't be disappointed. Don't be discouraged. Don't fret. You know, this is history repeating itself. The Israelites, when they came and met the Red Sea in front of them, some of them said, oh God, we are finished. We were at least in Egypt. We had the opportunity to eat. We had water. But now here we are in front of the Red Sea. Even when God miraculously delivered them from the hands of the Egyptians, they went into the deserts. They were complaining. Some said, every day, manna, 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 manna. At least in Egypt we had meat and fish and cow. And sometimes it's like many Amazonians, and this is our inherent human nature though. So I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming anybody watching me right now. And I want to accept the fact that it's very natural sometimes to be discouraged. And sometimes I feel discouraged, and I'll be honest. Why? Because when I look at the fact that we are fighting for the freedom of our brothers and sisters, and yet the very people we are fighting for are the ones standing to fight against us. Can you imagine? Just think about it. Okay, look at the policemen, some of the soldiers, some of the so-called blacklegs. They are Ambazonians. They are born and bred Ambazonians. 100%. Look at some of the activists in this liberation fight that have become sellouts. Those who have given themselves to the devil, to La République du Cameroun, because of money. People of dead conscience, I call. Look at them. They are Ambazonians. They are our brothers and sisters. So sometimes it's very natural to be discouraged when you look at those things and you're like, these are Ambazonians, these are people who know our pain and plight. They understand, or at least they should understand the reality of things. They should be the one fighting for our people. Now, think about it. When you look at the grandmothers, the grandfathers, mommy and papa them, the children who are helpless, those that are being killed on daily basis in our land, back home in Ambazonia, by the top soldiers of La République du Cameroun, by the genocidal soldiers of La République du Cameroun. They go around, they kill our people, and they make fun. They enjoy it. You see them, they make selfies. They are killing our brothers and sisters. They are killing our people. They are killing our children, and they are taking selfies. No, they are happy about it. They are making a show of it. They are happy. They've lost every sense of empathy. These are not humans. This, I mean, not even animals would do this to their fellow species. I never saw a dog eating a dog. I never saw a pig eating a pig. You see, and because they've lost the value for their own lives, they want to destroy the lives of others. Now, the sad thing about that, and I want to repeat, is that we have some people amongst us that are very indifferent about it. They profit from the system. They are being bribed. They are being cornered. So they are profiting from the wrong system. To them, because they are profiting from this evil and wrong and devilish system, it's good. So their world is just about them and their family. They don't care about the others, the hundreds of thousands and millions of other people that are suffering from their detrimental actions. Brothers and sisters, the new year gives us an opportunity for us to re-strategize, reflect, do things differently, and of course, also appreciate our gains and achievements. Some of the things I want to approach right now, and I think I will start my presentation right now. Some of the things I really want to address in the next 30 minutes. One, fellow Ambazonians, I have discovered that this is a very sad reality, that many of us are full of ourselves. You know, we need to, for the benefit of all Ambazonians, I repeat, for the benefit of even the unborn child in Ambazonia, we need to sometimes let go of our egos, deal with our tempers, and address our personality factors. It's so important that we know this. So it's actually of no importance who you are, but the freedom of Ambazonia right now. Think about this. Which soldier goes to war and is boasting about his certificates at the forefront of war when the enemy is shooting at them? The enemy is shooting at you, killing your brothers and sisters, aiming at killing you, and you are going there to say, you know, I have a master's degree in this, I'm a doctor in this, I'm a doctorate in this, and you are going to puff up your personality and your achievements. Those things they don't matter. It doesn't really count at that particular moment, because you are at war. Sometimes I see a lot of people, you want to for who? We want to for. You know what, B? Who are you? Who are you? For Christ, who are you? What have you that somebody else don't have? Some of us are boasting over our certificates. Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a this. Seriously? And La République du Cameroon is killing our people back home. Let me talk to the diaspora. The fact here is that all of us are victims of genocide and neocolonialism. So you might be a very rich person. You might be a very educated individual, far more educated than myself. But you are a slave like me. You are a victim of genocide like me. You are a victim of neocolonialism like me. Our people are dying on a daily basis. They all are our relatives. So we are all bound by this common plight, that our people are being killed by La République du Cameroon. So trying to be indifferent about that, and I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this thing by the end of this show, because many people might not understand what I'm trying to say now until I bring this to an end. Some might just think I'm trying to make some moral lessons. No. By the time I round up with what I'm trying to say, you understand where I'm going to. So please be patient with me. Now, we need to try to deal with some of our personality factors, because this is very serious. You know, if you see even in the counties, the LGAs, let me use this as an example, and even in our common WhatsApp groups and little organizational units, people are fighting for leadership. Can you imagine? People will do everything possible to destroy each other. You want to kill your own fellow brother. Think about it. Which soldier does that? You are at war. The enemy is against you, shooting at you. And you are there fighting. You're pointing your gun at your brother to kill your brother because you want to be the one to lead. That doesn't really make any sense. And sometimes when I reflect on the things that are happening to us in this liberation fight, in our little groups and organizational units like the counties and LGAs and the rest, it's sad to realize that many people have lost the focus. Have you noticed that there is always this fight of leadership? Always. It started with Sisiko. My goodness, everybody was behind Sisiko Ayokabe Julius. And when somebody else took, it even started with this Mark Barata and Tapang Ivo. You remember when the consortium, when powers were transferred from the consortium leaders to them because Bala and the West were incarcerated. These young guys, Paratasan was on the run. They had power for a while. But we remember when Paratasan emerged in Nigeria and they took over the leadership of the consortium, there was total chaos. These young guys they said, no, they wanted to kill. Why? I want to ask you this question, you watching me right now. Do you really think you must serve in this revolution, in this fight for freedom, for your people, from the position of leadership? Must you? Do you really think you can only free Ambazonians from the position of leadership? Do you really think you must contribute only from the position of leadership? So why are you slandering your brother, your sister? Why are you trying to pull him down? Kill him! You hear someone who say, no, but this person, look at Ambazonians. We capitulate on the errors of others. It's like, this person did this, but this person did this, he did this, but he did this. Come on, she said this, and so what? La Republique is there, killing our people. And you are there in the meetings, having meetings for hours, every week, just to repeat the same thing. And the sad thing about this is, these individuals, they want everyone to just get that story. I've spoken to a lot of people in this revolution, in this fight. Permit me if I still use the word revolution, in this liberation fight. And one sad thing I've discovered is that when you talk to people, and when some things are going on, everybody keeps repeating the same story. The same story I've been hearing for the past 6 months. You keep repeating it. Okay, for instance, my trip to Buea. We all know that a lot of things went wrong with my trip to Buea. But for you to keep repeating it, are we going to settle at that particular point? My trip to Buea, and people are dying at ground zero? The truth is, every patriotic Ambazonian knows that a liberation war like this needs money, needs resources, needs committed people, needs soldiers. We need fighters. We need patriots to free homeland. Yes, both home and abroad. Patriot and patriotism is needed, or patriots are needed. So, because one soldier died due to the error of somebody or another soldier, are we just going to stay there and begin to lament and say, oh, but it was this soldier who did this error and the rest, while the Republic is attacking us? No, 1,000 times no, brothers and sisters. We must step up the game and re-strategize. No retreat, no surrender. This is a one-way road. It's a one-way ticket flight. And Buea is the final destination. We cannot stop. Listen, Papa and Mamide, brothers and sisters, to all of you that have been discouraged, thinking that, you are not seeing things, listen to me, things are happening. I want to assure you. Things are happening. And we need to increase the happening of things. One of the good things I want to appreciate this interim government is that the interim government has finally learned, at least to 60 degrees, that some of their moves and actions must be strategized, planned, conceptualized and executed privately. We must begin to take our enemy by surprise, even in their territory, because it is war. Yes. So the time is gone where, and listen, this 2020, I told you guys that when I'm coming up in 2020, I'll be very brutal, like the rough David. And I'm making this very straight. Even if the Sechi Christian who comes up on any of his shows and makes a silly announcement that is jeopardizing the security of Ambazonians and Ambazonia, or that is releasing aforehand any secret of Ambazonians, I will make sure I crush him. I will grind him on this platform. Because we cannot keep exposing ourselves to the enemy whenever we want to take a move. We must learn to strategize and take La République du Cameroon by surprise. And every functional unit that has not been, let me say body or leader or whosoever that has not been functional effectively, we are going to crush you out. Because I don't understand why we have counties and LGAs that nothing is happening there. You have things are just going and happening. La République is just, they have their soldiers and their armies and their people living there, running their businesses on daily basis as though nothing is happening there. Not in Ambazonia. No, 1,000 times no. If somebody had come to you and tried to discourage you, I want you to understand, Papa and Mami, time don't change. We are taking this liberation fight as from now, henceforth, to another level. To another level. To another level. And I'm going to explain the principles here online because they are very simple. And it's very easy to do them. For a while now, I've been very quiet on the background. Doesn't mean that I have not been doing things. As I said, sometimes it's very important to re-strategize, to look at the things that are happening, study the environment, study your enemy, and then re-strategize, and then hit your enemy hard. And I tell you truth, fellow Amazonians, we are, this one is a great news. We are gonna hit La République hard. Hard. No, I'm not mincing words. My name is Nanchop. Quote me anywhere. We are going to hit La République hard. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let me get that straight. Now, I want to bring out some points again. As I said, this is my first outing of the year, and I want to touch on things before in other outings. I will come up definitely to be very directive, to go in a specific direction. But there are a lot of things I just want to touch today because I really want to shed light on a lot of things. I know there are a lot of things that have been happening, and people have been trying to say, Mr. Nanchop, come up and talk. No, we are not going to do that. We are not going to waste our time and energy to address everything. You cannot imagine a non-entity like Moja Moja. Okay, Moja Moja will come up, make a video, and you expect me, Nanchop, to come and talk about Moja. It's bullshit. You not expect me, Nanchop, to come and be wasting my time, all your time, to talk about internal enablers. Gone are those days. If there is anybody in this who is an Ambazonian who does not by now know who the internal enablers are, then you are not a patriot. You are not for the freedom of Ambazonia. Because we've told you, I've told you many times, I've showed you them, I've explained them, expressed them, I've even exposed their strategies and their acts so clearly that even a blind man could see them and can see them. So you will not expect me, Mr. Nanchop, to be coming up on daily basis or weekly basis to tell you this activist is a sellout or this. No, that's not my duty. No. There are many things I believe we Ambazonians have to do, and I'm going to embark on those things. Teach my people, encourage them, bring up those things that are necessary for every Ambazonian to know. And of course, if need be, we always crush, we grind, we always grind. But let me focus on this thing. This leads me to the next point that I think is very important in this liberation war and in this fight for survival against the genocidal regime of dictator Biya. Everyone wants freedom, right? You watching me right now, you want to be free. If not, you want your family and everyone to be free from this genocide of La République. We understand what freedom is. And one thing we also need to understand is that freedom has a price. There is a price that must be paid for freedom. freedom cannot be given. So for those who are hoping that some people somewhere will come and give us freedom, I think we must shift away from that mentality, from that thinking, that thought system or that belief system that the international community is just going to have pity on us and say, oh, these people have suffered for so long, let's go and give them the freedom. It is not going to happen. I'm sorry to tell you this, but this is the truth. This is the reality. It is not going to happen. The United Nations or the United Nations is not going to sit their bodies are not going to sit together and say, oh, Pobia has killed them a lot, let's go and give them independence. It will not happen. Fellow Ambazonians, we must take things by force. Think about it, and this should give us a bitter lesson. Now, few days before the Chan that is going on right now, women and children were killed in Mauto. The Americans condemned it. The ambassador of the United States to America, to Cameroon, condemned it. You have many other international bodies and of course human rights organizations that condemned that act. They even said it was genocide. Go to Twitter, everyone was tweeting against it. But few days after that, they were sending their children and their footballers to go to that very area and do festive activities, to play. Now, let's think about it. They are going to play football, have a game, joy, celebrate, right? They are going to play, have fun. I mean, the games are for entertainment, right? These games, this their Chan, is for entertainment. They are going there to play, to have fun, to show, to compete over the blood of our children, women, fathers, over the blood of our people. Think about it. Now, to those of you living in the diaspora, imagine you are living in Paris, you are living in Washington, D.C., you are living in Los Angeles, you are living in Sacramento, you are living in San Francisco, these big cities in the world, you are living in Berlin. Think about it. Few days to an incident. I remember once here in Germany, I think that there was going to be a march, an internationally sold march. People came in from all over. Few days before that march, an incident happened and 2 people died. They did not care that people had come from all over the world for that ceremony. That they had spent money, they had paid flights, hotels have been paid, and that activity was suspended. It was stopped because 2 people died of an incident before, in that same city, before that activity. All those who came from around the world, all of them had to stay, and they stayed in their hotel and they paid homage. They mourned those 2 individuals that died. But think about it, because it is Ambazonia. It is your people, our people. They don't care. To show you that they don't even respect the human lives that have been lost there. They went there to play their games. Not even the Cameroon government that claims that we are one and indivisible. They never even mourn those people who died. To show you that their lives don't matter to them. The people don't matter. They don't care about them. They have no respect for human lives. I mean, these people are nothing. They are worse. I mean, they are less than animals to them. Think about in Paris. I remember a few years ago, an accident happened. You remember the Charlie Hebdo incident that happened in Paris? I was in Paris when that thing took place. I was there in Paris when it happened. The Charlie Hebdo, the whole world, people were mourning, everyone, even some of you watching me right now. You had your profile pictures as Je suis Paris. What gross hypocrisy. Your brothers and sisters, did you see those videos? I'm not going to play them here. Look at how children as young as 2 years old were killed by the military thugs of La République du Cameroun in Mautu. I never saw any of you say Je suis Mautu. I never saw the international community, not even La République du Cameroun, that claims that we are one and indivisible. They never mourned those children. They went ahead to play their game as though those lives don't matter to them. And you want to tell me that we should live with these people together We should recognize them as our brothers and sisters. We should live with them in any union, God forbid. And you want to tell me that we should just stay quiet and keep calm? Think about the hundreds or the thousands of our brothers and sisters that are dying in the dungeons and prisons of La République. Do you know that there are brothers and sisters, young girls and young boys that were arrested without any crime? Some of them are just students who went to the streets to protest against the brutality of the police and the armies and the gendarmes and the government, to protest against the impunity. Some of them are lawyers that went to the streets to protest against the brutality of police. They were taken by those same police and put into prisons. They've never had a court case hearing. No one has ever attended to them. They haven't even given them or granted them any opportunity to see a lawyer. They are in the prisons. No one cares. Some of them have died. We discovered mass graves. You remember the video where somebody literally videotaped La République du Cameroon burying our people in mass graves in Yaoundé. What did the world say about that? Nobody talked about it. CNN never reported about that. No one cares. No one cares. And you want me and you, let me put it the other way around, you and me to sit and hope on this same international community, the same people who offers us lip service every day. When things go wrong, when our people have been killed, they offer us their lip services. They just talk, oh, and we condemn the killing of these people, and that's all. Why am I telling you this? Hold on to the end. I want to tell you something. Watch the show to the end. I want to tell you something. I'm bringing all this. I know these are painful memories. These are sad realities. These are things that are happening, and it's not like I want to fresh up the wounds, but sometimes it's good to face the realities and to know that we are at war. Because it seems to me like we are just so used to these killings and pain that it doesn't move us again. Some people have become so indifferent. No, La République is not aiming at stopping anytime soon in killing our people. So why should we stop in defending ourselves? If you give me an answer to that, I might take your proposals into consideration. La République has not stopped killing our people. Why should we stop defending ourselves? I told you freedom cannot be given. I see a lot of people talk about homeland. They talk about our people. You know, they are anticipating and aspiring this freedom that we are talking about. It is good. I have some questions for you watching me right now. And I just want to ask you these questions, and I'm going to put them very straightforward. It's simple. What have you done to facilitate the desired freedom? Because when you talk to people today or nowadays, this one will tell you, okay, well, when are we going to be free? When are things going to change? Oh, La République is still killing our people. Everyone seems to be focused on lamenting on what is happening or crying, you know, and expressing regret, talking about the pain. No one wants to talk about the solution. You get the problem? Everyone wants to focus on the problem, and this is what is wrong. Because even at the county levels, in the interim government, on many levels, that's why I was so hot at some of the members of the interim government. You saw me made a tweet, a post about it. It's not because they are not patriots. It's because their strategies are sometimes going wrong, and I'm tired of it. We are focused on the problem so much that we don't think of the solutions. Let's be solution oriented. And I want to bring this to you. And I asked again, what have you done to facilitate the desired freedom you want? You as an individual, think. It's sad to see that the majority of those talking about the freedom of Ambazonia, they are just offering lip services, just like the international community is doing. They are not committed to do anything. They don't support any strategy. When I say they are not committed to do anything, they don't even care about the county. We've been talking about the county by county. How many of you watching me right now is an active member of his or her LGA or county? Some of you just enjoy the social media form. That's why you want us to make this thing a social media show. No wonder La République is insulting us and calling us social media country. No. I'm not going to identify myself with that name. No. Because as for me, Ambazonia is real. And I'm fighting for that freedom. I'm fighting for what I know is real and it's a just cause. I'm fighting against genocide. I'm fighting against neo-colonialism. I'm fighting against evil of the present day's dispensation. So we're not just going to be the so-called social media nation or people that they want to call us. No. I told you social media is good for communication and sharing of information, but strategizing and execution, we must do it in our local units. That's why I encourage the county by county and the LGA by LGA. But the sad thing is, how many of you watching me right now are really active in your county by county movement or LGA by LGA? How many of you? There are so many Amazonians out here in the world, in the diaspora. You don't care. But you are on all shows, you are watching, you are commenting, but you don't really care. That's why you feel free to hide behind a fake profile, because you don't believe in the reality. You yourself, you are not convinced of what you are fighting for. And the few ones that are convinced of what they are fighting for, like the activists, you are the very one attacking them. You are not bold to do what they are doing, but I see people bouncing on Prince J. Listen, I'm not going to judge Carl. And I condemn some of the things he says. I condemn them vehemently. But, you know, when we have, how do I put my words so I don't sound arrogant? We need more people, more youths like you and me to arise. This is about us. I see a lot of people, and I see some youths are trying to derail you. Listen, this thing is not about Dr. Sako. Where is Dr. Sako going to be in 30 years' time? Some of you, you are in your 30s and your 20s. In 30 years' time, in 20 years' time, you are at the age of Dr. Sako and Chris Anu. As a matter of fact, Chris Anu and Dr. Sako, these men are just so good. Because look at them. In 30 years' time, they will be old men. They will be in their 70s or 80s or whatsoever. But they are fighting for the future. Most of us in 30 years' time will be like the Chris Anus and the Dr. Sakos. So this is about us, the young people. But you look at these ones. Now somebody will just come and is deceiving you about Dr. Sako or Chris Anu, as though this war of liberation is about Dr. Sako and Chris Anu. It's not even about Sisiko. It's not even about Patasan or whatsoever. It's about you and me and our future and our children and our unborn generation. Do you think if La Republique succeeds to crush us militarily, we are going to be any better than we were? No. So to some of you that are creating all these confusions on social media and the private WhatsApp groups, let me ask you this question. What do you really want? You've lost the focus of the war. From the war, and now you're fighting your brother. I see every Jack and Jill wants to make an audio. People just go, and even the worst idiots in this revolution, they want to make audios, and you hear the things that they are saying. They cannot substantiate them with any facts. They're just running their mouths. Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to claim importance. Listen, those things are unnecessary. This too much talking on social media, WhatsApp groups, and those things are unnecessary. It's time for us to orientate towards the structures and things that builds us together, binds us together, where we can strategize, conceptualize and execute. I'd put it out the other way, but it's okay. So most of those talking in this revolution, they don't support the strategies, as I was trying to say. They have not drafted. Now, we are talking about the freedom of homeland. This is so, and this is where, the other day I was on my bed, and I was just thinking. I didn't even notice when I was crying. No, I didn't notice when water was coming out of my eyes, because I see the people at ground zero. Look at our poor people, man. Come on, brothers and sisters, come on. Look at our people. Look at where they live. Even those living in huts. Look at, for instance, those that were killed in Mautu. Look at where they live. Look at their houses. Some of us are in Europe and in America. We have a life of luxury. But look at these people, look at where they live. Yet La République du Cameroon, Paul Biya will send his soldiers to go and kill them. What do they have? Some of them, they've not even eaten. Some of them, they live by famine. And their farms and crops have been destroyed by the soldiers. They don't even have things to eat. We must protect and defend the life of these people. Do you think France cares? Do you think the international community really care? If they do, they would have acted. They would have at least acted to stop the genocide, to prevent human lives. They would have done it. But, I mean, their usual habit is they will offer some lip service. I call it lip service. Make some notes, write and condemn those things. They've been doing that for the past 4 years. What gives you the hope that they are going to change? No. The only thing that is our final hope is that we must take charge. We must take our destiny in our hands. We must make sure we fight back and defend ourselves. And this is not a matter of talking. Now, I'm bringing this down to the point where everybody wants to see a change. Now, when we were talking about the charge, people are saying, oh, once Fako, make this happen for Fako. How many of you have drafted for Fako? Some of you are children. I mean, some of you, I want to talk to my Bakuri people. All these my mullahs and bambas and ears. You are running your mouth all over social media. You all graphic people, Bamenda people. How stupid you are. How many of you have drafted to yes, Fako is the capital. It is true. Yes, Fako has everything. Yes, it is true. Fako, or the as you call it, Southern Zone, or whatever you want to call it, let me use your terms, has everything. But what have you done to protect those things from Paul Biya and his enemy and his cohorts? They are coming to us. They steal our petrol, steal our things every day. They are looting from us. And all you want to do is to point fingers at your own blood brothers and sisters. With the silly excuse, na Grafi, na Mojili, na this. God have mercy. How did we get here? How did we get here? This is exactly what Biya wants. Right? And those who are finding those things, I don't care who you are. I want to make this thing very clear. Henceforth, even if you are a family relative, a friend, or whosoever, I'm not ready to entertain any silly or nonsensical discussion on this topic with you. Ambazonia is one. I don't care. Most of you are married from we are intermixed. You live in someone's, you live abroad. You are living in somebody's country. They don't even treat you. They don't even use those terminologies you are using against your own brothers and sisters. See how evil you've become. Look at what dictator Biya has made out of you. I'm not saying this to condemn you, but sometimes it's good to see some of these negative effects, how far they've brought us down. That people are now focused on talking about Grafi, Southwest, Bakweri. This, are you kidding me? Is Fako only Bakweri? Okay, you want, it's good. You want us, the Bakweri people. You want us to take over our land. How do we do it when you don't want to contribute? You are not committed to fight against Paul Biya and against Dictator Biya. The people they came and killed, the people they are killing are our people. The chiefs that they killed and the ones they are still planning to do are our people. So you don't bring in money. I'm talking to Fako USA, Fako England, all the Fako groups, all the groups you people have put me inside. I have not seen you guys come up to bring in strategies for us to raise money or to fight back against the soldiers of Dictator Biya. No. All you want to do is make nonsense complaints against Grafi or this. Nonsense. Bullshit. And this is exactly what Paul Biya wants. This is the illness he brought into our forefathers, our grandfathers and grandmothers. This is the sick he brought into their mind to make them feel that they are because we can get the lands. We go and hustle for the lands. We go and make books, go to Yaoundé. Then they'll give us the new layouts. We own the lands. We start selling them to the as you call them, Mojili or Bamli people. And is that life? Is that building a legacy for your people? Come on. And most of them even running their mouths. They want to change. How committed are you? You are not in any county. You are not in the county. You are not in the Guya or Limbo or Victoria. You are not in the LGA. But you are loudest on social media. Really? You think this war is about social media? The president and the interim government brought up a cause and said, let's draft. Let's draft. You think we can be free without money? You think you want us to fight Biya? You want us to fight dictator Biya and his genocidal soldiers, right? I love the idea. I want us to fight. But how are we going to fight? How are we going to fight? We can only fight with weapons. So how are we going to purchase those weapons? We need resources. How are we going to get those resources activated? We need money. So how are we going to where are we going to get the money from if you don't contribute? Or we don't collectively contribute. So somebody like a POM or the West will come and tell you not to draft, don't contribute money, and most of you running your mouth. Listen, this is the sad thing about this revolution. To all of you, now everyone that is commenting, and even you watching me, most of you have not contributed one dime. You see, I want to be very human and factual here. You see, I understand that 2020 has been a very rough year for many people. I understand. Financially, it has been a very rough year for many people. Many people lost their jobs. Some could not work full time. They had to do but part time. So many people lost so many things. But what does that tell you? You are living in America. You are living in Europe, in China, wherever. Look at the way the white man is treating you. Even at the midst of coronavirus. Don't you think you deserve a place like home where you can at least go back and rest? You think somebody will come and prepare that home for you? No. In German we say Heimat ist da, wo das Herz ist. Home is where your heart is. I repeat, Heimat is da, wo das Herz ist. It means home is where your heart is. So if you think you are comfortable living where you are there and that's where you're going to get old and go to the old people's house, live there, but time will catch up with you. So the 1,000 euros you might pay today might save you the future. So a lot of these people chatting, writing, and doing whatsoever they are doing on social media, they have not even drafted. How many of you have actually committed yourself to the draft? But you want the change. You want to see us stop Chan. How? Look at it. If you look at the people that are committed in this revolution and to this cause, who are giving in their money, there are few of us in all the groups. In group A, B, C, they are the ones contributing $100 here, $50 here, $20 here, every week and every month. Think about it. If all of us collectively, in our thousands or hundreds of thousands, will activate that spirit of commitment, we might just need $10 a month from each person, and we are going to make sure we be very effective at the ground and on the ground. But most of us, thousands of people, sometimes I'll make a video like this. By the time I come the next day to see, you're having 20,000 views. Just imagine 20,000 committed individuals will give in themselves to this revolution, to this fight against dictatorship, against this genocide. So they don't draft, but they find fault in everything others are doing. But they themselves are doing nothing to facilitate what? The freedom process. They are doing nothing. Join your county. Okay, let's assume, as I was trying to say, that financially you are broke. You could not give the $1,000. At least you could give $500. Let's say you could not make the $500. At least you would have given $250. Okay, let's assume you cannot give $250. Well, brother, you can give $100. But at least that basic contribution shows your willingness. Even God sees your heart. Even God will not say, these people are trying. Do you know what happened at the Tower of Babel? If you read the story, the Bible says the people on earth, they decided to do what? To build a tower unto heaven. And they were committed to it. First of all, they didn't have enough resources to do that. They never even knew the future, because they were building a tower. They just wanted to build a tower up to heaven. And nobody ever told them how far heaven is. So indirectly, they never knew how far and how high that building is going to be, and how much energy or resources they are going to put in it to make sure they achieve that particular goal. Just like we might never know how much we are going to put in to achieve this freedom fight, to achieve what we want. We might never know how far we'll go. We might never know how many years it's going to take us. But there is one thing I learned from the people of the Tower of Babel. The Bible says that God looked at them. He saw their heart. He saw that they were one man. Imagine, they were one mind, and that they were committed. Think about it. That God said they were one tongue. Even God himself became afraid and said, if I don't do something against them, nothing shall be impossible. Can you imagine? God looked at man and said, nothing shall be impossible for them, because what? They were focused. All of them wanted it. Everybody wanted it. They wanted to build a tower to heaven. Oh, fellow Ambazonians, sometimes I cry for us. This one is talking about federalism. This one is creating confusion. This one is thinking, oh, let's seriously. What is it that you think will benefit with a federal or in a federal structure with La République du Cameroun that we are not going to have in a free Ambazonia? What is it that you think we can have in a two-state federation with La République du Cameroun that we cannot have in a free nation of Ambazonia? What is it that you think will be a benefit to us, Ambazonians, in living together with La République du Cameroun that we cannot have living alone? Oh, tell me, is it beautiful girls? We have them in Ambazonia. As a man, not also kind of talk now. Let's go. Is it big mansions? Is it what? What is it? Is it intelligence? What is it? Is it French? We can still build. We can learn French in our territory and speak it. What is it we will get from La République that we cannot get as a free nation of Ambazonia? So why do we need them? They are parasite on us. We don't need them for anything. So even thinking about any means of living together with La République is a crime. People who don't regard us. There are journalists who come and say they should kill us and destroy us. They call us dogs and rats. Come on, brothers and sisters. Come on. And you want the change, but you are not committed to do anything. You've not drafted. You are not contributing. You are not doing anything. You just want to come to social media every day and then you listen to people talk. That's not a fight. We are not going to win this war by that way. Seriously. If we are going to become, so somebody said to me, Mr. Nanchop, come live every day. You are very inspiring. It's true. I know I'm very inspiring. I know I have the special anointing to inspire people. But that's not the thing. Coming online to inspire people, that does not bring a change. It's when that inspiration pushes the people to act. Well, we all now arise as one people, like the people of the Tower of Babel, where we are committed to effect a change that will better our lives. As a matter of fact, that's why we are fighting. We want a better life. If not for us, at least for our people back home, or for our children. That's why we are fighting. So why am I going to fight? You are fighting your brother on social media. You are fighting your brother in your group, in your county, to crush him down, to kill him, to destroy him. You want to take fame. Come on. People are fighting for position. I mean, what would that bring to you? Do you really think because you are the general of this or you are the minister of this today, it means when we get to Ambazonia, you are going to be the one to maintain those positions? It doesn't matter. I don't really care. People call me, this one want me to be. I say, I don't want to get involved in all those people, because the more you get me entangled and you give me positions, I am very conscious of my responsibility. I know position and power comes with a lot of responsibility. As though I don't have much to do. I already have a lot in my plate. So what am I trying to say? All of us must get onto the board and be effective in our own way. Stop just giving lip services to your own people. You want the international community to act, but you yourself, you are not acting to free the homeland. You have not drafted. And the worst thing is, if you should look at the percentage of those that have drafted, I mean, even amongst those who even came up and said they pledged, some even pledged and never even made an effort to give a dime. That's That's the most evil thing somebody can do. You come and pledge, the county is planning, the federal government is planning based on your pledge. When it's time for them to execute the action, they cannot execute because you are hanging. You have not committed yourself. If, let's just assume you pledged $1,000, you gave him 500, at least that will help to start something. But you are expecting to see a move on the pledges of others. And some of these people are people who are viable. They can do it. They have the money. I talk to a lot of people. I talk to some people sometimes, and I hear them talk, and sometimes deep in me, I'm crying. You will hear an intelligent man, a big man, educated man. He's talking to you on phone, and he's telling you, and you ask him, have you drafted? No, at the wait. Seriously, you want to see action? Who should be the one to get the resources for the action? You don't know the meaning of freedom. You are worse than the devil. You are worse than dictator. Because even after seeing all this killing of our people, even after seeing all this, look at these people here. Look at our brothers and sisters. Even after seeing all this, you are still waiting and expecting something else before you commit. Now, I know you cannot go and fight. Not all of us can carry the weapons. You must not even show your face. You must not come and be part of it, like show your face, disclose your identity. No. I'm saying that you can maintain your privacy, hide your identity if you want for whatsoever reasons. We respect that. But that should not limit you from committing to free homeland. I'm rounding up. It's actually wickedness to see that people have decided to fold their hands and watch Ground Zero bleed. Because that's what you are doing. When you see they kill people in Mautu, oh, I really want to, you will come and talk about how people are coming to Fako, they want to come and take over Fako, they want to come and we'll go to Buya, we'll fight, there will be problem, we have not even got what are you even doing for us to get to that Buya? I prefer for us to go to the Buya and fight. Let's go to the Buya first. Help us go to the Buya and fight. At least if I'm fighting you, I'll fight you like I'm fighting my brother. But La Republic is not fighting us with any empathy. They kill us like rats and animals. And all you can do is come to social media and claim and boast, my, come on. It's sad, brothers and sisters. It's terribly sad, man. It's terribly sad. I think a lot of things have to change. I talked about this new year. These are things we must change. Don't expect us, even to activists. You guys are making this our fight to become a social media fight. No. When we come to social media, we must teach ourselves, educate ourselves, encourage and inspire ourselves onto action. Whatsoever we are doing on this social media, whatsoever I'm doing, is to revive us to that point where we are more committed to freedom. Yes, because we must be free. The truth is this. Let me tell you the truth. The truth is that Ambazonian nation must be established. It's a matter of when. Our collective contribution and commitment will facilitate the time. So we all can still be part of it and enjoy it. Okay, look at someone like Pa Njoli Tumbe. They started fighting before some of us were born. But because in the days of Pa Njoli Tumbe and the rest, Ambassador Fossong and the rest, there were not many committed members to fight dictatorship. There were not many committed members or people, individuals, to put in resources and energy. So they went out. They fought and became weary. But did it change anything? No. Look at some of us that were not even born when people like Panjoli Tumbe of blessed memory or Ambassador Fossong and the rest were fighting. Some of us were not born. Most of you watching me, you were not born. But the legacy, because they fought. Oh, no wonder Apostle Paul said, I have fought a good fight. I have kept the faith. Because they fought. Panjo and the rest, they fought because they knew that what they were fighting for is the just cause. It's right and it's righteousness. Now today, in our days, we've multiplied. We're in our thousands and tens of thousands that are fighting. From the tens or 20 people that were fighting in some years there, now we are in the tens of thousands. We are multiplying, and the truth is that the more we all collectively come together and exert our effort, inject our efforts, the faster these things will go. We will facilitate it. If not, it might take us the next time to 20 years before we get to Buea. Based on the fact that many people were just, you know, should I say, spectators. They want to be spectators. They want others to act, and then for them to get to Buea. It cannot work that way. Mothers and children are being killed on a daily basis. We have to support our self-defense. I talked about what happened in the channel. You see, when La République du Cameroon would prefer to have fun, entertain themselves, and live over the blood of our people. It's terrible. And the international community will say nothing about that. They are all part of it. I mean, I heard audios of calls that were made by concerned citizens of Ambazonia, and even La République du Cameroon citizens, some of them of goodwill, called the international community and the CAF or whatsoever they call themselves, Africa Food or whatsoever. They were calling them to condemn this thing. They say it cannot take place because of the war. Now think about it. Dictator Biya declared war. The war is ongoing. Yet he goes to the international community and tells them, oh, everything is fine. You guys can come and play in our territory. Everything is fine. And we don't see anything wrong in that. You don't see anything wrong in that. Now you want the restoration fighters at the ground to effect the change. But what have you done to enable them effect the change? No, this is so sickening. No contribution, nothing. I mean, I'm rounding up now, and I'll open the line to take some calls. But ask yourself this question: what is your input in this liberation fight? What have you put? I mean, what can you show off? What is your input in this liberation fight? You know, you see people like Dr. Sako, Chris Anu, and the rest that have committed their lives and everything to this fight. Look at somebody like Chris Anu. His mother is in the dungeons of La République du Cameroon. His brother is the general fighting. His sister, until 2 weeks ago, was in the prisons of La République du Cameroon. He himself is being summoned. La République is suing him all over. I don't think there is any court in the US that has not summoned or sued Chris Anu. Think of how many times the CIA has gone to his house because La République is pumping in money to fight them. Dr. Sako, the same thing. Yet these are people, they are humans like you and I, with family, with children. They feel like us, and all you do is to support those who come on social media and insult them. This is terrible. I never saw La République people go and make all these nonsense videos or coach doctors. When last did you see La République or Atanganji come to coach Dr. Sako? He's afraid. He's afraid to even call the name Dr. Sako or Chris Anu. He's afraid. Biya and the rest, they are afraid. But those who claim to be part of you, they will come and deceive you. They go and they are the ones attacking these people. People who are sacrificing them. Is that the route we want to go? And some of you, you are quiet and you just look at those things as though they are normal. I tell you, in 2021, if you don't kill some of these people, if you don't eradicate some of them, you don't want to go to Buea. I'm serious. Because some of these things must change. It's a must. I'm not saying it should. It's a must. It must change. Look at our people in Koningi. Just think about it. Dr. Sako and the interim government, Chris Anu and the rest. These guys are working tirelessly, night, day. I mean, they are bringing up all the strategies. Dr. Sako brought up my trip to Buea when Ayok Tabe and the rest were incarcerated or were abducted. Because there was no money to prosecute the war. They needed money. This very Ayok Tabe and the rest came out secretly and are still fighting. Think about it. I had Comrade Frank come up here 4 weeks ago. He told us how Ayok Tabe is with those in Koningi and Ayabacho and the rest. They are fighting to do or to infiltrate the counties. What is that for? They said Dr. Sako has no relevance. They said Dr. Sako is nobody. Dr. Sako's government has been dismissed. They are saying all the evil things against Dr. Sako. Yet the strategies Dr. Sako is putting in place and the interim government, they are fighting it. Why? Let's assume Ayok Tabe is the president. Let's assume Ayok Tabe is the man. Ayok Tabe Julius, I'm talking to you. You are the man, yes, Papa, now you. You are the president, yes, Papa, now you. If you get the means and the way for till we go where. Nobody fight Sako in own way. Why you think, Ayotabe, why? Why do you and your cohorts in prison and all over, why do you think that you must destroy the interim government of Sako in order for you to be important? Why? Why do you think that you must destroy the county by county? You must infiltrate them. You must kill our fighters. Listen to Eri Tato, Mark Barata, Tapang Ivo come up and say, Field Marshal must die. Why do they think that Field Marshal must die for them to go to Buea? If they have the strategy to take us to Buea, let them take us to Buea. But why must they kill Field Marshal who is fighting La Republic? Do you see the problem now? Because they are not for you. They are not for Ambazonia. They are for La Republic. Must I say that to you? Are you so foolish not to understand it? Why does Ayotabe think that he must go and be having private meetings with the county chairs to infiltrate them, to convince them not to follow the orders of Sako? Why must Ayotabe go and be having meetings with activists to convince them? Why must they do that? If for truth they are for Ambazonia, if Ayotabe has the capability and the ability and the knowledge and wisdom, he is the master planner according to what his people want us to believe. Yeah, yes, let him help us go to Buea. Let him not fight us on our way to Buea. If Ayabacho has the force, they said they have ANA, they have how they call it, ADF or what. If those forces are strong as they are claiming on social media, see, listen, fellow Ambazonians, it's high time for us to face reality. When you come to social media, you make videos, you frame up videos with Photoshop, you come and put on social media to deceive people how strong you are. Yet, you don't have any fighters on the ground that are strong. To what advantage is that to our liberation fight? Let me tell you something. Dictator Biya, La République du Cameroun, they are no more moved again. They are not moved by the social media propaganda. Come to social media and portray all your weapons and guns and soldiers. Let them put ADF. Let them move all over. Those things does not move Mr. Biya again. What will make them stop and fear is the action on the ground and the execution of the strategies we have. That's why I want you to understand that this 2021 is a year of action. I, Mr. Nanchop, this is my first show of the year. I want you to write it down. 2021 is the year of action for Ambazonians. I don't care who you are. Are you ADF? I have no problem with you. Are you for Ayotabe? I don't have. Are you with whosoever? I have no problem. What I want to see, your validity counts to me, and your importance counts to me when I see your actions at the ground against La République du Cameroun, against Dictator Biya and against genociders. I want to see your action at the ground. So, fellow Ambazonians, nobody should deceive us on social media. Let them not come to social media and shout and make noise and tell you how big they are, how big names they have, they possess. No. We want to see them execute actions against the enemy. We want to see them protect our mothers and fathers. We want to see them fight to save and protect our women and children. Fellow Ambazonians, Papa and Mommy them, as I round up, I will take a few calls. But I said in my first show for today, I want to just come stay on a spirit up, because this year is a year of action. Everybody, if you watch me for Facebook now, write down 2021, the year of action for Ambazonia. If you did for your county, for your LGA, no much time to talk. You know this stupid one occasion for LGA meeting, county meeting. When they talk for 3 hours, only they fight, they argue. Instead for to strategize for action for ground, 2021 should be a year of action. A year of action for Ambazonia. A year of action for Ambazonians. A year of action. Action. In all the counties, LGAs, I want to see action every week and every month. Action. And all we must begin to work now for to contribute for those actions when they take place. You know, only should not for your arm say, we'll never hear no action. When there's no, if we're not sure for county meeting, LGA meeting, If you do that meeting and they want to talk any nonsense, tell them this henceforth now action. I don't want to hear anything, any from me now. So if you call me from my phone, you know I talk about action. No call me because they block you. Now I want action because see, what brother for prison don't suffer. Man assume so all man for prison a good man. Man assume. Penterence, Ayok Tabe, all the rest of them. Now our brothers them, we will still love them. I go hit hard. Look, when I know say, I not to say any man that really fight when they hit hard on Ayok Tabe and me. You know because I hate Ayok Tabe. You understand me? Maybe because I hate Ayok Tabe, I don't hate him. But I hit hard only because I see say, he don't take the hard decision for destroy we. If you should not quiet, la part sang and the rest should not quiet. No, they fight. If we instead of the day, the hell we the advice we, the hell we, the encourage we, now as we the feel for them. Because at the end of the all of them they suffer. They suffer. They not be supposed to be for that way they be. Now it's not they hurt me. When they talk about Ayok and what about those boys and girls who don't know their names, the way they did for prison, for Douala, New Bed, why they for some kind of prison, the way we don't know. I talk with my small friend that he papa did 4 years for prison for Boya. Since 4 years, he papa did inside prison. They don't allow the man. The man don't sick. He really sick. They go put him for bed. They chain him for bed. What gross wickedness? Which be crime? They say they suspect. He say he help Ambazonia. Yeah, the suspect person say they help Ambazonia. They go put you in prison for 4 years. Today, and that kind of man, if God no help, if he die for it, that's what we must fight to take over our land, kill all those army and police where they go for the. Listen, brothers and sisters, I don't talk this to police and go for the whole people inside prison. Why Boya prison still for be? If we be talk on action, our boys they go for launch attack one evening, so kill every policeman with that prison, take all blow that prison, take all our brothers and sisters over there, give them gun them. We want action. Action we want, no retreat, no surrender. I go open the line now to take a few calls. By the way, now my telephone number this was screen for here. I'm not saying some put in the Sydney. The number this you understand. If you watch me live now, you want call for contribute. Call. But I tell now, no retreat, no surrender. We need to take no nonsense again. No retreat, no surrender. Papa and mommy them. I want to take a few calls for this show. I don't make them for today. Before I go, if anybody want to call. You know, when I start talk about these things, I don't feel end. But I've said it this year and a year for action. Enough of the talking. Everybody must stand up. Everybody must wake up. This year and a year for action. If you do, you see the Ambazonia, you need to take part of your county. You know to do nothing. Those things must change. Those things must change. You must become active for your county. You must become active for your LGA. You must make sure say you fight for the freedom of homeland. Ambazonia, no retreat, no surrender. We need to surrender. We don't give up. Just think. You want to give up now, maybe it's Apple Ganzero. I mean, think about it. Say, so, you want to give up now. No, it's happened one day for prison. Now, when they need attack, they will fight them. They need to still fear for our brothers and sisters the way they did for prison. Then you want more give up? No. We'll fight. We must fight till the last man standing. We must fight. So I thank Una for joining me today for this particular episode of Amber Voice. This is the first video for Amber Voice 2021, and I declare 2021 a year of action for we Ambazonians. A year of action. By the way, if you join we, you never share, click on the share button. I would close up the show now. You click for the share button. No, I know I make this video too long. I'm not going to this today. Soon in the next days. So Papa and Mami, we don't come for the end of Amber Voice today. I don't take no calls again. The time for call don't pass. And I want to thank all those that watch me. Click for the share button. That one also commitment. Imagine some person will say, no, if I share now, they will look aside the Ambazonia. Really? Really? May God have mercy. See you guys in the next days. I wish you